In today's episode of 3 or 4 or Wifey, today we're going to be discussing somebody with over 1.5 million YouTube subscribers and many more followers on TikTok, somebody who has rose into prominence, somebody who has been in a position to debate a great many centrist idiot pundits like Piers Morgan, among others. So this girl has been given a lot of clout. There's a lot of guys that are following her account, unfortunately or unfortunately so. Now these people are going to say, is she attractive? Should I wife her up? Hypothetically speaking, again, this is all some sort of like locker room talk, and we're going to get to the bottom of it, okay? So just the bottom line is that I saw this girl collabing with people like Sneeko, people that you might respect, people that you might think are normal guys, and then she's the resident girl in there, the token woman. Now, why is she in there? A lot of women that are in the right-wing sphere, as you've all seen, are just parroting talking points from Rollo Tomasi, among other people. And so you might think, what makes her so special? That makes her famous. And beyond that, the mantra that we've known for a long time has to do with some sort of variation of the term, no e-girls ever, okay? So you ought to just say, you know what, she's famous. That more or less is a disqualification. But for the sake of the episode, having some sort of like sense of urgency, let's just say for the record that, okay, we'll disregard the fact that she's famous and that's a red flag. Let's look at the fruits of the tree without the stigma around it. And we see somebody with a huge following. How does she get that following is the question. We're going to break that down and we're going to give you some of the truth. So right now, I'll pull it up right here. One of the first things you get when you look at Pearl Davis, you'll find out that she's 26 years old. That's not a good thing. I'm a 20-year-old, so I really don't know what it's like to be with such an old lady. But the point is like, okay, well, I mean, 26, what are you adding at 26 that a guy doesn't want at 20? That's the problem. And so somebody like Pearl, who's the consummate pick-me, and again, she has to be the pick-me because she's not an attractive girl, in my estimation. Anyhow, this Pearl chick is like, oh, you know, guys want 18-year-old girls when they're 30 or whatever. And she'll even go further. And I saw on the timeline, the Twitter timeline, and that really made my blood boil, is that she's defending lowering the age of consent and stuff like this. Now, I think she's saying like 18 to 16, so it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's legal in a lot of places. So it'd be really hypocritical of me to say like, oh my God, all these people in Chicago sleeping with 17-year-olds are really pedos. I mean, that's not really what I'm saying. But it's also like the train of thought, the directionality. What is she trying to come up with here? I don't know what's going on. Anyway. So she evidently thinks like, okay, guys in their 30s that are successful, people that she would probably want to marry, want to get with 18-year-old girls. Okay, well, Pearl, you're 26. Hello, what are you going to provide for me? Oh, you have a YouTube channel? Well, do you post a bunch of coal? Do we call you just coaly things because you coal burn as well as you pay the toll and you post coal on the timeline? You bombard the Twitter timeline with a bunch of inane nonsense? Anyhow, so right now, she's somebody who gets compared to Andrew Tate because they're both like big people in the manosphere, so to speak. And again, ironic, right? Manosphere. It's like having a guy do makeup tutorials. Could that happen? Are there like some gay guys that can do it? Yes. But do you want to be James Charles? No. So is she the James Charles of the sector? Hey, sisters, maybe. I mean, so that's the question right here. So anyhow, she got famous for a myriad of different reasons, but we're going to go ahead and look at some of her quotes. Now, this is going to be a mainstream hit piece, but again, this is what we're talking about. We're trying to get the Carfax on the girl. So, you know, they say, oh, if you don't want me at your lowest, then you don't expect me at my best. It's like, well, I'm going to look at the lowest and we'll see what we're going to deal with. So she grew up rich. She grew up in a 10-bedroom house with her 9 siblings and parents in Chicago. Okay, so she was born rich. Does that really indicate anything? No, not really. She started her social media presence a couple years ago with content about her life and started building an audience on TikTok. And then she had a series called Breakup Quiz. So, and that helps people figure out if they were dumped or not. So I don't have a strong opinion on that. That's fine. This next paragraph gets into a different point. So she started watching Ben Shapiro, which, again, whatever. Who cares? Now, what are some of her beliefs? Women should not vote, she says. Again, I like that. Like, obviously, should women vote? That wouldn't help the Republican Party, right? So, evidently, yeah, like, if women couldn't vote, it'd be a lot easier to win elections. So, I could see the logic there. But, for a girl to say that, I don't know. Like, for instance, Mexicans voting. Mexicans overwhelmingly vote Democrat. Do I want to lose the right to vote? Yes, actually. Like, that would be a good trade-off. But the point is that I'm not going to be like, oh my God, let's get brown people not to vote. That's just kind of stupid. It's, like, very self-hating. It's not going to happen. I can acknowledge on one hand that, yeah, my people, my extended relatives, vote Democrat. Doesn't mean I hate them or want to disenfranchise them. Whereas somebody like Pearl's like, pick me, Andrew Tate. Oh my God, take my voting rights away, please. Meanwhile, and again, oh, I'm submissive to my husband or will be. It's like, I mean, you're on the internet on a panel full of people speaking. That's inherently left wing. That's inherently like, oh, I'm an equal person. I get equal rights. again, you don't fit in here. If that's the sort of paradigm you're trying to fit in, which I don't entirely agree with, but that's regardless of that point. So Pearl Davis was put onto the fresh. No, not even that one. She was put into the H3 podcast and got smoked by Ethan Klein. I would play the video, but I don't want to make your face. I don't want you to bleach your eyes because Ethan is such an ugly person. But anyway, the point is that evidently she got destroyed, and she was being force-fed through iMessage or whatever, talking points in the debate live by a guy. And it's like, you're getting fed points and you're still losing. It's utterly embarrassing because on one hand, you're somebody that ought to be competent. If you have a 1 million follower channel, you ought to be able to carry yourself in argumentation and debate. Instead, you're relegated to having some black producer send you fucking messages, which is another point, which is like, all of our employees are like Nigerian immigrants in England or something. And it's like, why? Like, why exactly? I mean, you look at Pearl, you look at the fucking people that are around her. How does she get around those groups of people? Isn't that kind of sus? Like, why? Like, and again, I guess there's nothing wrong with that per se, but it's also not helping the allegations of coal burning and race mixing, which a lot of people in the right wing have a problem with. Evidently, it's not the best idea then to surround yourself by people that are called Blessing and Princess or whatever the fuck, Harambe. I don't even know what the people are called there. It's like the most inane bullshit ever. Anyway, so those people, I mean, it's just a weird look. So, I mean, she only dates black guys from what I can tell, and that's like, hello? I don't know. So, I mean, you can make of that what you will. I'm on YouTube, so let's not go too far in here. Anyhow, let me see. So, let's keep going. She talks like she has a lot of air in her head, too. That's another problem, is that she's like, I don't think so. So, like, she'll have people on her podcast straight up just denying genocide or whatever. And she's like, oh, really? Oh, I never thought of it that way. Oh, really? Well, oh, wow. Because when I was in school, it's like, okay, do you have anything insightful to say? Do you have any pushback? Or, like, it's like if I were to say a girl has 4 vaginas, and then some 10-year-old's like, oh, really? I mean, let's have a little bit of discernment. Like, no, you're not a historian, Pearl, but, like, can you have any understanding of anything contemporary politics-wise? The bitch has no idea what she's doing. Anyway. All right, so let's keep looking. So how are people reacting to Pearl Davis? They source a lot of people. Who freaking cares? Anyways, we're going to get to her Instagram because that's what everybody wants to know about. So let's go ahead and share the screen, and you're going to see what we're working with here. So let's go ahead and show y'all what needs to happen. All right. So right now, she's going to Pierce Morgan. She's like 5'11" or something. Look at this. Again, you don't have to be an attractive girl to exist, but at the same time, like, can you please be attractive so that you don't burn my eyes? Like, I'm more sexually attracted to myself than I am to Pearl. That's actually, like, I'm not even joking. So it's like, okay. Anyhow, let's go ahead. What's this? Playing piano with this black guy. Again, your white incel audience won't like that. Look at this. Dude, she is built like a linebacker. Go play for the Chicago Bears. Oh my God. Look at this. This is freaking ridiculous. Oh my God. She just looks rough. Look at this. I mean, look at the legs, how pale she is. This is why I'm generally against dating ginger girls. Don't do it because their skin is just really bad. And so, if I could give her a little bit of my melanin, you look at this brown. I can give her a little bit. But it's like, dude, come on. Are you kidding me? Let's look at this video. Again, all maked up. Again, she's wearing like an expensive outfit or something. And look how she's getting mogged by this blonde chick. Oh my God. She looks like a freaking man. Look how hot this blonde girl is compared to this chick. Oh my goodness. And again, I'm only making fun of Pearl because number one, I'm being honest and I won't lie about it. And two, because the videos surrounding the visceral like reaction, the sort of like physical entanglements, that sort of thing. So her appearance is tantamount to the thing. So if somebody were to make a series about me, whether or not they want to marry the future president of the United States and say, well, you know what, Lalo, you're a handsome person, that would be completely fine with me because if you're going to relay the truth in a context that's appropriate, that's completely fine with me. So if I get to talk about Pearl, she can talk about me too. Not that it's going to happen, but it's like, okay, I mean, it's fair game. So anyhow, let's look at this. Guys, are you sexually aroused by this? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, and I understand. There's not that many people simping for Pearl, but there's a lot of people carrying water for her on the internet because she's popular, number one. And number two, there are unironic simps for Pearl out there on the internet. I don't know where, but it's kind of like if you were to find a salamander in a cave, you know they exist, you just never seen one. It's like that, okay? So there's simps for this chick. Again, not attractive at all. Like, seriously, like, I'm as attracted to her as I am, like, my least attractive cousin. You know what I mean? Like, I have literally no interest in this chick. Anyhow, Again, this is what we're working with. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Mark Zuckerberg's twin sister right here. We have his fraternal twin sister here. Are you fucking kidding me, bro? Oh my god. How can a girl like this have an audience? And again, I'm not saying, guys, I'm not saying that a girl cannot be unattractive on the internet, because evidently if the girl, for whatever reason, by some miracle of the Lord Jesus Christ, she has some sort of charisma that mogs other guys and she makes content that's productive, okay, that's fine. But the thing is that she doesn't really have a talent that would make her worthwhile as a person to then, to be relevant on the internet. She's really mainly relevant on the internet because she has something that you can stick your hands up like a bowling ball in, okay, in her crotch. And then what that means is that, you know what, you're a girl, you get it thrown easy at you, and she'll even acknowledge this. But that doesn't change the fact that you're still a pick-me, even if you're self-aware about it. And we discussed this on the Billy Ray Brandt episode, where evidently she's like, oh, I'm the number one pick-me. No, you're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to own it. That means you're losing. That means you're trying to obfuscate from the truth, which is evidently the fact that you're just a pick-me, and it's gross. We don't like that. And moreover, we're looking at the pictures that she chooses to show everybody, and a lot of this, she doesn't even look good. She's like a 3 or a 4 out of 10 when she's all made up, when she has the right outfit on. It still doesn't work. She has a very unappealing figure. And again, this is not personal. Like, I don't really hate the chick. I just don't stand her content. And mind you, she's famous. Meanwhile, she has high production quality. Again, all of the producers are pretty much men from what I can tell. And evidently, if you were to give John Zerka even half of the budget, you would have a way bigger channel, because evidently you need personality and whatever. When you're a girl, apparently you don't need that. But I'm asking you, God or whoever, hey, if you're going to give us some girl grifter in the right wing or the manosphere, at least have the chick be hot. But instead, we are plagued with a girl that is not even bangable. A girl that if I were to live with her for a year, I would still rather do this than be with Pearl. Why is that? I mean, seriously, like, if we're going to get some girls in here, let's step it up a little bit. E-girls on the internet, I promise you, are better than this. Take any girl from a college dorm, and they're going to be hotter than Pearl 9 out of 10 times unless they're fat. Like, come on, are you fucking joking? So, I mean, this is just, come on. Sheesh. Okay, come on. Okay, now she's in the kitchen. Bro, she's so tall. Look, I just kind of feel bad beating up on her, okay? This is not really, like, I feel mean. Again, Andrew Tate. Think about all the thousands of guys that have worked infinitely more than Pearl. But because she has clout, because she has lips like a fucking Arby's steak sandwich, she has those sort of curtains. Now all of a sudden, she has the top G with her. Not because she deserves it, but just because she has, you know what? That's the whole problem with society nowadays. And, you know, even more than Pearl, the problem in society today are the fucking simps, you idiot bastard coomers that ought to go get an electrical cord and bungee jump off the Grand Canyon and make sure you snap the rope before you fucking jump off, because you don't deserve to live in a world where you're promulgating these not even mid, subterranean pussy, some of the fucking glowfish of the world, the blobfishes of the world, saying like, oh, this girl deserves a platform. No, she doesn't. If this were a real Christian society, Pearl would have like 200 YouTube channel viewers, and that'd be about it, okay? They'd say, this girl's not hot, she's not talented, she doesn't have what it takes, she's 26, how about we throw this one to the curb? She really has the sex appeal of a 2002 green, faded painted, scraped up, sunroof decrepit, dilapidating 2002 Toyota Solaris. It's not really looking good, eh? So the point is that the girl is completely unattractive, is famous, is not going to give you the money. Obviously, she wants a richer guy. Not attractive. Would not, by the way. Sex appeal of a McChicken poured against gravel and cement, mixed in with a pineapple shot of tequila, and all of a sudden you have something that is not really edible, is it? So, I mean, she's not really attractive is the bottom line. So yeah. So look at this. Do you think Andrew Tate is aroused? Look at how fucking flaccid he is right now next to Pearl. Jesus Christ. How are you getting the same sex appeal as, like, the grandma behind you? Look at how she's getting mogged by this black chick right here, this chocolate sin over here. I think her name is Brittany Griner or Brittany Renner or something like that. Selena Powell, maybe. She's pretty. Look at the mogging. Look at the mogging. Look at this black baby mama, this 30-year-old roasty that has been through the entire NBA. She mogs the fuck out of this 25-year-old white chick. Oh my gosh, guys. Seriously, go to a library. Get the average girl that works at a library. She's hotter than Pearl Davis, guys. Let's get serious, bud. You can get every single female meth head in the city of Phoenix. And I think a good 20% of them would still be more bangable than Pearl Davis. So let's speak to these simps, okay? If you're watching this video and you unironically would date Pearl Davis, money aside, we're not counting that. If you were to see her at a Starbucks and you would hit on Pearl Davis, you literally, unironically, unambiguously ought to jump off of a tall area and try to land on your neck, preferably, because it is utterly astonishing that you would ever consider a girl like that. You would rather go for a girl that has committed incest or something. Like, seriously, like, the average girl that is inbred is probably hotter than Pearl Davis. Wink, wink. So the point is that, like, come on, let's get some higher standards, guys. So you guys that are unironically simping and lusting for Pearl Davis, no matter how fucking ugly you are, can get a better prostitute for like $80. Not that I would know, but at the same time, I mean, I know a lot about atrocities. I'm looking at one right now. This Pearl Davis chick on the other screen is not looking so damn appealing now, guys. Anyhow, so it's not looking so good. Now, let's break down, in the spirit of the video, 304 Wifey, is she a hoe or a housewife? She's 110% a hoe. Why? Unattractive as fuck. Just, okay, she could be the best Christian girl ever. I would still not take her. I would not sleep with her. I would not marry her. Because, I mean, that's just the facts. I would have to go through like 3-degree burns. I would have to look like Darth Maul to go for this chick, okay? Clearly, I can do better than that. And look at who's going for Pearl Davis. A bunch of overweight black guys. I should have pulled up her ex-boyfriend. I forgot about him. This like black dude from Africa in England or something. This guy is fucking fat. Like Steve Urkel mogs this guy. That's the sort of person that's going for Pearl. Somebody who wants to like have mulatto children with her that are going to be tall. That's all. I mean, that's literally all she brings. Like, okay, she's white, which, I mean, is arguable as, like, is that even a good thing? Is race mixing even okay? Stuff like, I mean, people debate that on the internet. She's tall, which is, like, again, if she's 5'11", I'm, like, 5'9", like, that's a weird dynamic. Now, she can give you tall kids. I understand that, but it's like, you know, you can get it someplace else. I can get it someplace else. I know I can get it someplace else. You want a girl that's, like, 5'10"? I have different options, okay? Anyway, the point is, guys, in the video is that this girl is not worth marrying. Do not marry Pearl Davis. The girl is unbelievably, unabashedly a pick-me, and a pick-me is bad. Why is a pick-me bad? Because a pick-me is necessarily going for whatever is going to sound good to you and appease you, kind of like a reverse therapist, where a therapist is going to be like, oh, how do you feel about that? Oh, really? How was your day? So bullshit, inane, advice, stuff like that. She's doing the reverse. Andrew Tate. Oh, Andrew Tate tweeted this. Okay, let me regurgitate that. I think that women shouldn't have the right to vote. No. And again, do I want women to have these right-wing values, these conservative Christian values? I do. But ideally, and it's like that One Direction song, you don't know you're beautiful. That's the idea. Have all these political beliefs without actually being a political spurg on the internet, because it's not attractive. You know, like, I want you to be able to travel the world, like, know how to use your passport without actually being taken by other guys to other countries. I know it's a little bit ridiculous to ask, but I mean, that's the ideal. And she's not presenting that at all. And again, what sort of clientele is she getting? A bunch of fucking losers on the internet, incel idiots? Like, if you're going to listen to the red pill stuff, listen to literally anybody else. Anybody else. A literal cokehead in Zerka is way better than Pearl Davis. And people like John Zerka are the problem. Why? Because he will pay lip service to Pearl, say that, oh, she's so red-pilled on the JQ or whatever fucking inane, like, okay, and? Do you think Pearl is woke on any sort of question? You think she's woke on the JQ or whatever people want to say, whatever conspiracy theories? Look, if she's woke on anything that's like right-wing or anything about that, it's only because some smarter guy told her about it and she just believed it because she's a fucking idiot, dumb klutz. She didn't come to any sort of conclusion on her own. Probably listened to some like 25-year-old that's a lot smarter than her explain it in a way that is verbose and actually articulate, whereas with this person, Pearl, she cannot even argue her way out of like a wet paper bag. She probably couldn't change her order at a Starbucks if she really had a gun to her head. She's not a very bright person. And again, if you're going to give us a dumb, klutz, grifter bitch, can you please get us one that is bangable? Please, God. I know that sounds a little sacrilegious. I take that back. But the point is that we need somebody more attractive. Look, if Olivia Rodrigo, bless her soul, if she were to actually be the Pearl Davis of the red pill, like, manosphere, okay, I can, sure, these are reheated, microwaved, whatever, campfire lit, spam, Andrew Tate takes, sure, but I mean, at least I can look at her tits, right? Like, but no, we have to get the fucking piranha, bitch. We gotta get that ginger fucking doll, sex appeal of a literal, like, stuffed animal, like, really just not making it there. Flaccid as a motherfucker. This is what my weenie looks like right now. It's like fucking, it's like this right now. It's like fucking Austin Powers or whatever. It's like Megamind or what, Mini-Me, something like that. Anyway, enough millennial references. The point is that she is a 304. She's a hoe. Throw her to the street. EA, it's in the game, bitch.